Hello there, and welcome to part 2 of my Thrive exploration. Today we're going to be taking more of a in-depth look at the Github side of things, less at the released game of it. If you don't know what Github is, it's kind of like it's like a source control system for programmers. It allows them to make changes to a source code of a project without changing the whole thing. So, for instance, I could make a change to the free build side of things and not have the master branch, the release version of the game, not be affected. This is what we're going to be taking a look at today. There are many branches that we could take a look at, but I think the first one, and the one that I'm most excited for personally, is the free build branch. The free build branch is the branch dedicated to, well, free build. If you remember how I talked about Spore in the last video, Spore has a mode or an editor where you can create whatever creature you want, more or less. I'll put up some gameplay right here so you can see what I'm talking about. As you can see, you could take parts, remove parts, you can build whatever creature you want. You could build giant floating penises, you could build a zebra, you could build a giant thumbs up. Hopefully I can make all of those up to satisfaction and show you guys, but yeah, that's basically what the free build branch is, except now it's in Thrive. If you remember, in the previous version, there was no free build. The only thing you could do was use your 50 mutation points to slowly build whatever you want. But in the free build branch, if you go into the editor from the menu, through that little tiny paintbrush icon, you can, well, create whatever you want, including Cthulhu Cell, which is what I'm going to be trying to do today. Okay, we're back, and believe me, let me tell you, it was hell, absolute and utter hell, to clone over the GitHub archive. I am going to spare you guys every second of me trying to make Git Tortoise and Git SVN work, or SVN Tortoise. Tortoise Git and Tortoise SVN. I'm going to spare you every moment of me trying to get those to work because it is absolute and utter hell. Also, I'm not even going to get into code blocks and CMake and all the stuff that goes with that stuff. I'm just going to get straight into the meat of it, you know, what you guys want to see. Now, I mean, main menu doesn't look all that different. You know, I looked into the code myself. There's nearly nothing different except for one thing. There's a new variable where when you click this right here and enter the microbe editor, it brings you to a new editor with new backgrounds, everything unlocked. It's perfect. Perfect to make your little Cthulhu cell, as I guess people want us to make. So, yeah, as you can see, I have infinite mutation points to make whatever the heck I wanted. So, I'm going to click New Cell, and we are going to decide what to do. Now let me think. What does Cthulhu look like? It's a really tough question. What does Cthulhu look like? Ah! I got it. Okay, so, of course, we have our cytoplasm, our basic cytoplasm to let us build whatever we want. So I think I'm going to build 2 arms and 2 legs. Yeah, that looks good. I'm going to put little flagellum feet, because, you know, Cthulhu has those tentacle feet. Of course, he has tentacle arms, too. Oh, I'm just going to take a moment and appreciate the soundtrack. Okay, sorry. I just love the soundtrack of this game. Okay. And give him his little tentacle mouth that he's known to have. I don't know what this is going to do, but I hope it's freaking amazing. Let's name him Cthulhu Chad D. That's... I tried recording this video once before, but the recording didn't come out very well, so one of the things that happened inside of it was that I misread something as Chad D, so now all my cells, according to me, are going to be named Chad D. So let's get into this. We have our little Cthulhu. Oh, I almost forgot! Mitochondria. It needs mitochondria to survive. That and vacuoles. It needs sustenance to survive. What am I thinking? And let's see. little chloroplast couldn't hurt, because we all know chloroplasts in this game are freaking overpowered as heck. So, yeah. I think at this point we have a pretty violent, pretty deadly cell. That did not look how I want. That did not come out how I expected it to come out, but I do not care. And this is our Cthulhu cell. The power of the free build editor. Oh, okay. And of course, we could just... We have 670 health total. There is absolutely no way that this beast of a cell could be destroyed by anything. Wait a sec. Hold on a sec. That's a lot of flagellum. I wonder what would happen if we traveled backwards. Oh my god, we're traveling so fast the compound clouds refuse to load. This is perfect. Oh, I just absorbed something. Okay. And now I'm absorbing this guy. At least my organelles are in the shape, a general shape of what I wanted them to be in. So, one of the things you'll notice is that in the free build editor, oh my god. Did our sun just despawn? Okay, well, the first thing you'll notice is that the free build editor is now differentiated from the regular editor. We have 50 points again, so I think this time I'm just going to add more flagellum. It's almost like it looks like we have cilia. Yeah. So, free build editor and regular cell editor are both differentiated. So, I think at this point I'm just going to create this little guy. Let him die off, so I could show you another feature. And I'm gonna claim claim that, or gonna really admit that I am a bit tooting my horn here, because I did program a lot of the free build editor. But I feel it's a feature that a lot of you would have appreciated, considering that many of you, if you have played Spore in the past, really like the fact that you can create any creature you wanted. So this is a feature that I kind of wanted to point out. The editor inside the microbe editor actually accustomates itself to whatever biome you're in. So right now I'm in the shallows biome, so the editor switched to the shallows biome, which you'd probably noticed beforehand that the shallows biome has the exact same background as the free build editor, which is a mistake on my part. So I think this time I'm going to just build a good old-fashioned regular cell. And I'm dying off, so I'm gonna just respawn. Yeah, so that's really all to the free build editor branch. I'm excited for it because this is a step in the right direction, in my opinion, because now we're able to create whatever cell we wanted. And again, going to admit I am tooting my horn a bit, but I'm really excited for this because, you know, it lets us create whatever cell we want. So if you want a cell that's 500 feet long, made of mitochondria, and has, you know, chloroplasts on each side, then you can make that cell now. And, well, I think the most important branch next to this, other than any branches that require me to do C++ work, because I'm kind of hesitant to do C++ work at the moment, because getting CMake to work and getting all of those things to work is just... Yeah. So I think the next branch that I'm going to take a look at would be the species naming branch, which is also another branch of mine, but it's the only other branch that I could do without working on the C++. So, or without, like, using CMake. So, yeah, I guess I'll be back in a second. Oh, and also I'm going to mention that this branch, in the newest updated version of this that requires me to update the C++, and I'm not going to do that because I am lazy. The newest version of this branch lets the game pass back and forth flags, which basically will make everything a lot easier to program and remove any need for global variables inside the Lua or C++ scripting. So, yeah. I'll see you guys in the next branch. Okay, we're back, and we're in a new branch this time. So, as you can see, nothing different this time, except, well, there's no free build editor. As you can see, if we go back up into here, no free build editor. You have 50 mutation points, things are locked, all that stuff. But the thing we do have in this is genus naming. So let me name my genus. It will be Chad D genus. And we will see what the species name is. Chad D Samapian. Oh, and in this branch as well, there is random biomes whenever you spawn in. So that's a cool thing. But the thing that is, I guess, majorly focused on this branch is the fact that you name your genus inside the editor, but every single time you reproduce, a new species name is generated. Just like real life, you know? So, for instance, when Homo sapien, or when the Homo genus had mutated enough, its species name changed from Homo neanderthal or something like that into Homo sapien. And eventually, over time, that species changed into Homo sapien sapien, or thinking thinking humans. So, yeah, as you can see now, I named the genus Chad D, and when we reproduced, it became Chad D Samapian. So, if we reproduce again, add some things, it now is Chad D Skiltus. Skiltus. That is how you pronounce it now. I'm not too sure if I have the fully upgraded version of the naming databases, because I remember somewhere in the newer branches there is more names added onto the list, and it's possible to get Thrivium from that. And I'm going to give a little shout out to one of the programmers, Untrusted Life, for adding that in. It was very clever, and honestly, I laughed at it when I first saw it in the Slack chat. Yeah. So as you can see, there's not really much new to this one. No real gameplay changes. But, yeah, I could pretty much say that it's a nice addition for them to add. Well, again, I'm going to toot my own horn a bit here and say that I added it. For it to be added, for the species naming to be added. So, if I can get it to work, I will go check out Cilia. See you in a sec. You have no clue how rewarding it is to hear the main Thrive theme after having to sit through 5 minutes of bootlegging code so you can get the game to work. It's no offense on the programmer who made it, but there were a few bugs in it that had to be fixed, like the fact that it was missing a mesh, so I had to take flagellum mesh and then rename it to the mesh that it needed so that it can work. And then I need to go and get the GUI from the updated SVN repository, which I didn't know was updated until just a few minutes ago. So, it's working now, and I've played through it once to see if everything worked, and I'm here to show you it now. So, yeah. Everything's the same, you know. You've seen this main menu like, what, 4 or 5 times now? There's no need to explain what's on it. But, as you can see, there is now a new option. Can you pick it out? I'll tell you what it is. Cilia. If you don't know what cilia are, they're like a bunch of tiny little flagellum. I think I may have explained this in the last one, but just in case you didn't know, they're like a bunch of tiny little flagellum that, instead of like twirling, they push. They're like fins almost. So, let's go with this guy first so you can see what's different. Okay, not much different, right? Flagellum make you go forward faster, all that stuff. However, the thing is, you can't turn at all. Like, turning is absolutely... It's completely and utterly difficult to do without any cilia. But, with cilia... Again, this game is in development, so I'm gonna give it a bit of slack, but that made me mad. I'm gonna admit that made me just a tiny bit mad. Okay, so without clicking the symmetry button like I've been trained to do, let's add 2 cilia. Looks the same, right? Looks about the same as any other old, you know, flagellum that you're adding. Oh, okay. Except, as you notice, you can travel side to side in those directions, but you can't do it as fast, and You can turn fast now. Woo! It's pretty amazing, actually. Because for the longest time, we haven't had new organelles. We've only had the same, what, 4 or 5 or 6? But now, finally, we have a new organelle that's working. And in production right now, there are quite a few other organelles. Like, for instance, there's the Pilus organelle. I mean, the model is currently being developed by 3Cubed, I think. Yes, by 3Cubed. And, well, that's been quite the journey. I'm gonna admit right now, it's been quite the journey. Did you know Pilus could be used as navigational tools by the Cell? At least according to 3Cubed. Or Neurotia. I can't remember at the moment which one said that, but you get the picture. So Pilus are currently being created, and so are the cilia. Because, believe me, we're going to need other meshes for cilia, instead of just reused flagellum. And that's what I love about this. Finally, we are now getting some gameplay diversity that we haven't seen in such a long time. And I'm not talking about gameplay diversity as in, you know, adding a free build editor or adding a little tiny, you know, species renaming thing, or adding just, like, membranes, because even though membranes are really, really good, they're not necessarily a gameplay change. But adding a new organelle with new features, refactoring movement, and completely and utterly changing up the way that a cell moves, that is gameplay change. That is what I like to see in this project. And it may not seem big to you, but this is such an enormous change, because finally, we're getting some new gameplay diversity, and we're moving a bit towards that goal that we wanted ever since the beginning of this project, a fully realized cellular stage. And of course, I'm going to have to give a little... this branch specifically was not programmed, in fact, by me, so I'm not tooting my own horn by showing my branches this time. This branch was programmed by a man of the name... Pagelinus? I've never... as you can tell, I don't really ever pronounce these names out loud, so I'm just kind of used to them. Like, I mean, you could say ones like Moopli, or Jijonji, or Crovea, as I would preferably know him as, or the Creator. You know, those are easy, but then you have, like... that's not really dissing on the developers, but you get the picture. I'm amazed, you know? I'm personally amazed, because I've seen this project grow from being such a baby of a game to having finally new organelles to play around with. Cilia. Flagellum. Well, flagellum has been added. Cilia. Pili being added into the game now. I mean, God, the possibilities are starting to become endless with the new people that are coming in. And that's not to say that we don't need people. If you think you have talents and you think that you can contribute to a game like this, please, by all means, join the project, because we need you. No matter how many people we have on the project, we need you. Even if you could do something silly and simple, like adding name changing, or adding a new dynamic to name changing, we will appreciate it. I promise. Now off of the emotional stuff, I really can just say no more about this branch, because honestly, as great as it is, there's not, again, a lot to talk about, because these are development branches in an in-development game. I could go on a large tangent about how this completely makes the game more realistic, but I don't want to waste that much of your time. So, I'll hopefully see you in the next branch if there is one. If there isn't, then this will be... Well, now that I think about it, I remember looking at the GitHub, and, well, I'm going to pull it up on screen. There aren't really a lot more aesthetic branches that I can take a look at. I could go into the code and show you guys what that looks like, but I'm not too sure that a lot of people want me to delve through Lua and C++. That may be for a different video. That may never happen, but this was for exploring new gameplay, the GitHub development branches, and showing you guys what Thrive is going to become within the near future. I've already shown you what Thrive is, and now I'm showing you what Thrive will become. With new organelles, with a free build editor, and with species name generation on the horizon, there are almost limitless possibilities when it comes to the future of Thrive. And I hope you guys follow every single second of it, just like I will. So, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed this in-depth look at the Thrive development branches. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and, well, make sure to watch out for the next video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!